Do you want to record a podcast?
I would love to record a podcast.
As long as the internet likes us. So this is episode 26 of Superlaties.
Hello, guys.
Hey, folks. Where, let's admit it, our fans only want to hear about the Netflix Marvel Universe.
All they want to hear about.
We'll talk about other things, though. I mean, occasionally. But today, it has a lot to do with Netflix.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Yes.
So confused. Because, you know what I almost convinced myself of this morning? Because I know what we're going to talk about. You want to go ahead and just tell people what we're going to talk about?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to tell them?
Yeah, you go ahead and tell them. Just tell them what we're just.
Well, let's just catch them. We'll catch them up slowly.
Okay.
It can be a slow burn. I'm trying,
oh, God.
folks. I am trying to embrace the slow burn, and this has been like a constant thing. Shelby loves the slow burn.
I do. I love the torture.
Have no patience.
Zero.
Which everyone would think, because Shelby has no chill. But anyways, slow burn podcast. What were you thinking this morning?
I was thinking that what we had thought earlier in the week was maybe that they were just doing a post-credit scene for the Defenders. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe this isn't for real happening yet.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. And now we have since heard some other stuff, and I'm even more confused.
All right, so here is what we know. Here are the facts. Let's start from the beginning. We won't Serial or S-Town podcast the shit out of this.
Oh, I love S-Town. Shout out to John B.
John B. McLemore.
Spoiler.
Oh, shit.
Spoiler.
I'll have to cut out the spoiler that Shelby just gave for S-Town podcast.
Yeah, spoiler. Although it happens in episode, not like.
No, it happens in episode.
Because it's funny. Because we were listening to it, and one of my friends who already knew what happened was in there when we were listening, and then when that got announced, he just watched my face, and I was heartbroken. Okay, so
I'll leave
what we
some
know
of it in,
is
just enough to be cryptic and confusing. All right, so here's what we know. We really are talking about Marvel.
Yeah, we know Jessica Jones is filming. Fact.
So we know the Defenders has wrapped.
Fact.
That has happened.
That's
fact. We know Punisher has wrapped.
That is fact, yes.
And that doesn't even, Punisher, normally they, throw their wrap party and then, a week later more set photos come out, but it looks like when Punisher wrapped, it wrapped.
Yeah.
And we know Jessica Jones has started filming.
Fact.
And that one is fact. That is not OLV saw filming signs. That is, they've made an announcement that they're filming, if I recall correctly. So that is confirmed fact.
Yes.
Which is confusing because,
yes.
Well, I mean, no, it's not confusing that Jessica Jones started filming. That was totally expected. Before we learned that Jessica Jones was beginning filming, one of our friends, Claire, over on the Defenders podcast, had interviewed Stephanie, the costume designer for the Defenders and all of these shows. And she said, supposedly Stephanie told her that the next project she was working on was Luke Cage.
Yeah, and I lost my shit a little bit.
Yeah, I might have had to console Shelby a shit ton.
It's like, what? Because all in my head, that to me, that just meant, oh my God, I've got to wait till 2019 for Daredevil. That's all. That's what I was like. Not because I don't want to see season 2 of Luke Cage. It's not that. It's just, no, I had in my head how it was supposed to go, and this was not. This was messing with my head.
Right.
A little bit.
Shelby's emotional response is purely based on how things impact Daredevil. And let's face it, all of you are the same way.
Fact.
If you're listening to this podcast, you are probably a Daredevil fan. Though some of you are Equal Opportunities Daredevil fan, Defenders fans. So, fuzzy. So we had heard that.
We had heard that, and then Charlie did. Then Charlie did an interview, and he said Daredevil's filming at the end of the year, later in the year.
Later this year.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, again, not a surprise. I never expected these two shows to film together or even within a couple months of each other. Yeah. So I was like, but at least, yay, it's this year, it's filming. Yay. Okay, fact, according to Charlie.
Right.
So there was that. So we kind of like sort of, okay, well, I guess the Luke Cage thing is not happening.
Yeah.
I put it in the back of my head like, okay, no, this is not fixing to happen. And then
earlier this week, a picture on the streets of New York showed up with signs for Tiara or Tiara. We are all for alternate pronunciations this week.
I'm trying to think, how do I say it? It's Tiara.
Yeah, see, I sometimes say tiara. I am an inconsistent pronunciator. So, anyways, TIARA, a sign on New York, which that is the code name for Luke Cage. At least it was in season 1.
Yes.
Now, there's a possibility that, like, somebody just needed to reuse some posters. They didn't have any campaign signs. They had some tiara signs. They threw it up. They were really putting up signs to, like, their little girl's birthday party.
Right.
There's possibilities that, there's something else filming called Tiara. I mean, maybe there's an actual Tiara movie or a Tiara movie or,
Or Tiara.
A Tiara movie. So... why, but at the MCU Exchange, we did some digging and came up with some audition videos for season 2 of Luke Cage, which those wouldn't be happening if they weren't getting ready to film.
True. And you're sharing with me all this, and I'm going, okay, whatever.
Oh God, that was, like, I prepared you. I was like, Shelby, there's some news about to break. And I want to make sure that you hear it from me.
It's so nice of you.
And I'm sure you probably thought somebody had died.
Yeah, I'm going to show you something. Okay. And then I was like, whatever. They can just film it however the fuck they want. I don't even care.
But anyway, so I was like, I want you to hear it from me first. Yeah. So...
Because by then I had convinced myself, like I came down, I was like, okay, this is happening, and they're filming this pretty much on top of each other, then maybe that means Iron Fist will film at the same time as Daredevil. That's the way, I was still in my head going, Daredevil's filming at the end of this year, it's all good.
Yeah, and Daredevil still, I mean, there's still no reason for Charlie to be incorrect about that.
No.
So, sure, like, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage filming almost simultaneously. Which, that's interesting. I mean...
They've been doing that.
They've been filming 2 shows at once, not this close.
Yes, not this close, but yes, they have been running 2 shows forever now.
Yeah. So they have the crew, they have, they've proven that they can... I mean, I don't even know what it would matter, because they have... I guess maybe they need a second... costume designer and all of that, but with the Punisher, they've had 2 sets running, they've had 2 crews running, they've proven they can pull it off. They have
Punisher ran not only it started just as Iron Fist was wrapping up, and then it ran with the Defenders. So it
ended right after the Defenders. And the Defenders, okay, and here's the thing: the Defenders filmed for about 6 months. For their 8 episodes.
Yeah, they took some time with this one. They probably, if they had felt rushed, could have done it in 4 months. But, they took time.
Yeah. Which is important to keep in mind when we talk about today's news. That makes no fucking sense.
I read that, Rhiannon, and I was like, what is going on? Like, that... I did read. Now I don't know if you read where Mike Coulter was is joining some movie.
Let's talk about what today's news was. So
okay, yeah.
So today's news, Mike. Oh yeah, you want to talk about it?
You just go because Mike's at the Chicago.
Yeah, he's at the C2E2 in Chicago, and our friend Adam was there. And while he was supposed to be hunting down Charles Soule to get us some very specific answers.
Yeah, we need answers, Charles. This is ridiculous.
He instead went to the Luke Cage panel, which I'm glad he did in hindsight. But Mike Coulter supposedly, it's other
happened.
People claim they heard this too. He said he was going to start filming Luke Cage in June And they were going to be filming until March.
Yeah, they were going to wrap in March.
And that is 9 months filming these 13-episode series that they normally film in 6. All of the previous 13-episode series have filmed for 6 months. All right. So what were you thinking?
Yeah. Okay. Now, I don't have any thoughts on this. You got to explain to me what's going on.
Well, but what were you talking about this morning with Luke Cage?
Oh, this morning? No. I was just, this morning I thought, because we'd heard no other news, I thought maybe Luke Cage was just, they had gathered up some people and they were filming like a post-credits kind of scene for Defenders, like a little teaser for all these shows to run at the end of Defenders or something. That's all.
Oh, I like that idea. And that still could be true.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. Because I was like, well, we've heard stuff, but I don't really think it's got geared up yet. I don't think it started. That didn't mean I didn't think that it was going to. I just don't think it's in full swing. And I guess we hear that today. We pretty much get confirmation that it's not going yet. It's going to start in June. And it's just like photography and stuff. It's started, that kind of thing.
And that doesn't even make sense. What makes sense is that they were filming a tag for the Defenders.
Yeah.
That would make perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, because... No, just go ahead. Now you explain it to me. I'm going to sit back while you explain to me why this is going to take 9 months.
Well, I mean, basically, they're going to give as much time per episode as they did the Defenders. That's the only way that this takes 9 months. If they have given more budget to these shows.
So in essence, they're speeding things up to slow things down.
Yes. So if they've upped the budgets, if they have decided to give them more time to make it. Yeah,
but then let me tell you where that puts Daredevil, if you're not careful.
Yeah,
2019.
Well, but this still
I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that is because if you say Daredevil starts, let's say September. Let's just say September.
Yeah,
and then it films.
That would make it filming until June.
Until June, it would be real tight getting it out at the end of the year, I think.
But the thing is, I mean, it's not like they wait until the whole season is finished and then do their post-production.
No, but they do spend a little time on...
A little bit, but the thing is, they can be doing the post-production. I mean, they do the post-production as they go. So they need just as much time after that last episode if they film for 9 months as if they do for 6, possibly even less, because maybe they've had time to actually, do post as they go.
Maybe.
But I think we will get at least 3 shows. I mean, at least the 3 shows in 2018. There's no reason not to have 3 shows in 2018.
I hope you're right. I hope maybe it's a simpler explanation, though, in that they just have to take a break because Mike Coulter's doing this movie.
And that's possible. But I find that highly unlikely. I would imagine his contract for Luke Cage says they have him whenever they want him. If he's in a movie, he has to leave that movie and go be Luke Cage anytime they want. I mean, that's basically what even Eldon Henson said, that this job makes it hard for him to get any other job.
Yeah, totally. So also, though, this means they could have 3 shows running at once if Jessica Jones takes like 9 freaking months to film 2. By the time Daredevil starts, they've got 3.
That's true.
Yeah. It's weird. That's
unless Jessica Jones was already planned to be on the 6-month schedule.
So ready?
Well, I mean, because Melissa Rosenberg, I just looked it up. They renewed Jessica Jones January of last year. So she has had 15, 16 months to plan this series. And 15, 16 months ago, Netflix might have renewed it and worked out that it's on a lower budget. Luke Cage could have a higher budget, and therefore Jessica Jones could be on a 6-month schedule and Luke Cage on a 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be something like that, and they do their 6 months, and then the future shows are on 9-month schedules. Or they'll have 3 filming at once, which seems insane. and I don't think they would want that. I think they want some continuity because then that would mean that they're folks like Stephanie, like who there was some other behind. Like Lauren Weeks, that does all of their sets and costuming and all of that consistently. You wouldn't want for them to go for 9 months and then not be able to start on another series for 6 months and be unemployed. And I think at this point they want to keep those folks in this universe.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of them did jump ship to go to Luke Cage because they started Luke Cage before Daredevil season 2 was finished.
Yes.
And I did, like, a lot of the crew. I mean, even the security guard I talked to that one night in Queens when you weren't with me, which was sad. Whenever I'm on set and you're not there, it was sad.
Oh, so sad.
But there was a security guard that said when they started Luke Cage, they lost a bunch of their folks. Like, even security went over to that show. So, yeah, some of those folks do jump around. But I can't see them doing 3 at once.
I really did think, instead of, I mean, what you said makes sense. That's cool. That does sort of, like, ease my troubled, like, brain a little bit. But I was kind of sort of hoping that they would go from 13 episode seasons to 10 episode seasons.
Yeah.
And cut some time off of filming that way. And just, yeah, because that's one of the chief complaints about all these shows is that they're a little too long. And I thought that would be one of the ways to solve some of their problems. Is just, let's just cut just a couple episodes off and get, and then even make it 4 to 6 months, guaranteed filming instead of now stringing it out to 9 months. But hey, whatever.
Yeah. What you said makes sense. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the criticism of Iron Fist was that they didn't appear to have the time they needed for quality fight scenes. And, I mean, that was one of the complaints. I know, lots of people had lots of complaints. So maybe, but I mean, I don't think anybody's complaint with Luke Cage was the fight scenes.
No.
For the record, and I've started hammering this in some places. For the record, my complaint with Luke Cage is that the bulletproof black man was not bulletproof. So go fuck yourselves, Marvel.
My problem, was that, and just the trip to Georgia, and that wasn't Georgia. We need to run a poll, like, what was worse, fake Georgia or fake China?
I'll set that up later.
I mean, I do get why we had to have a plane scene and go someplace else. I understand that. You need to be going someplace else, and you need to be in a jet for Danny to have that freak out moment. So I get that, but I just wish, like, sort of that Madame Gao had just been in, like, Hell's Kitchen, and they had to just go a few blocks over to a warehouse in Hell's Kitchen. That's what I wished. But then we wouldn't have got Danny on the plane and his cute little puppy dog, like, freak out when the with the turbulence. We had to hear that whole story. So I get it. But and the same thing with the trip to Georgia. You got to go, and you got to go back into your past and go to Seagate and do all that stuff. But it was fake. We couldn't send somebody down to get some real pictures of Georgia. I just don't understand. It's Georgia. It's not China. It's Georgia. I'm pleased. But yeah, so okay. So now we're going to go to 9 months, and we're going to have more time, and we're going to go to real places. Right, Netflix?
I mean, that's just my guess. I'm setting up the poll right now. Which was more irritating, the Marvel Netflix fake trip to China or Georgia?
I'll
make this a week-long poll so that...
Yeah, make it a week-long poll, because what left me with more rage was definitely the fake trip to Georgia. I hated that shit. Not because it was a fake trip to Georgia, I just hated what came out of it, and I didn't like that at all.
But it all came down to the fact that he was not bulletproof. That they decided that the one thing to take down their bulletproof black man wasn't going to be poisonous gas, emotional torture, or... drowning, or all the other things that even Mariah Dillard in the show brought up.
Yes.
No, let's make stronger bullets. Because, why not? Go fuck yourselves, Marvel. I think with time, I have gotten even more upset over this.
What did we call it the other day with Mike? We called it our Luke Rage.
Luke Rage. I think
Cage Rage.
But maybe we'll talk about this more when we can get Mike on the podcast. Our buddy Mike's been coming up. Cage Rage. Yes.
Cage Rage on that. Yeah. So, and I did finish Iron Fist again for the second time this past weekend, and it's really long. It's interesting to watch it with somebody who it takes a little more to get excited about these things than, say, like I do. And you do realize how long it is when you're watching it with somebody like that.
Oh my gosh. I've been trying to explain it to one of my coworkers who evidently has not watched any of the other Netflix shows, but decided he would watch Iron Fist. And he is so confused. So confused. He's like, what's with the little Chinese lady? And I'm like, Gao? She's awesome. And he's like, I don't get it. Everybody just fears her. She's just a little Chinese lady. What the hell? And I'm like, you haven't met Gao.
Yeah,
he's
you
like,
got to go.
And what's with the hand? Why do people give a shit about the hand? And I'm like, oh, you haven't met the hand either. Like, he's so confused.
It would be totally confusing if you watch Iron Fist first.
Yeah.
Because these people, even in Iron Fist, if you pick it as your first show, do not come off as terrifying at all. You know? If you don't have that history to go back to, you don't get it.
Right. Yeah.
You don't get it. But yeah, so it is a little, like, especially, I cannot, there's an episode I cannot stand, and I won't even name it, but there's an episode I hate. But the one where they, oh God, I don't know what, is it the one where they come back from China? There are parts of it I like, but then there are also parts where I forget that Danny Rand's even part of the show, because I get so caught up with the Meachums that I lose track of Danny completely. And then when they go back to it, I was like, oh, we got to go back to this. They still got Gal tied up. Shit, whatever, you know. And I think that's kind of an argument, like, why people have a problem with this show. If Tom Pelphrey comes out of this 13 episodes as like the standout performance, I don't think that's what you were going for. You know?
True. Though that's what I like about it, is that it actually, for once, I care about the full cast.
Yeah.
I care, and that's not in Daredevil. I cared about Wesley. I cared about Fisk. But I didn't entirely care about Yurik. And it wasn't because, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy the Yurik and his wife thing.
It is to me, I know a lot of people hated the boardroom stuff. A lot of people did. And they're like, boring boardroom stuff. To me, this is probably the most interesting B-plot of a show.
Yeah.
If you want to call it the B-plot or whatever, is the Meachums. I enjoyed it. And part of it is because Tom Pelphrey did such a good job playing Ward. And then on the second watch, I even enjoyed Joy more, and watching what Joy goes through. So, yeah. But it is long when you're watching it with somebody who you know is waiting for, like, okay, are we going to see fighting here? Something about to happen? And you know for the next, like, 48 minutes, no. There's sorry. Nope, nothing's going to happen here. He can't light up the fist right now.
Nope.
Sorry.
No. And that's where I know some people, I mean, like my complaint with Luke Cage, some people's complaint with Iron Fist is that there was no frickin' Iron Fisting. Like, yeah. I think somebody did count it up, and there are 12 times that he lights up the fist.
But I kind of like that.
I like that too. I mean, I never complain that I want more.
No, but I can see where if you're not, like, we're hardcore. Look, we're gonna watch it no matter what. I talk shit about another trailer that got released this week, but I'll probably watch that too. So we're gonna watch it. We're not people who can, like, probably be the most unbiased, like, judges of this stuff. But I enjoy that Danny is struggling in that first season with not knowing how to fucking power it up, what he can do, all that he can do. I like that. So, but other people, it's long. It could do with being, especially the Iron Fist episodes are really long. You know, they all tack on to about an hour.
They took on the full, there's none that, like, came short of an hour. They're all a solid hour.
I think there's one. I think episode 12 is like 48 minutes is maybe the shortest one. And then the rest are 50 or more. So, yeah. But we got off subject there, people, for a little bit, but
what was our subject? The Netflix
I think I was saying,
I think just like the and
number of episodes.
Somebody was like the holidays, but if you start in June and you're going 6 months, it would still end in December. Yeah, and even the shows. I mean, Punisher, whenever the holidays, they took a break for Christmas and they finished in 6 months. I mean,
Daredevil, when they started in 2015, they started like the last week of June, first week of July, something like that, and they were through in December.
Yeah, they were through before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's not like that they're going from June to March because of Christmas. I am seriously thinking that that Mike Coulter just got a little bit mixed up and was trying to say that they finished Defenders in March, because they did wrap Defenders in March, and accidentally said, because there's more than one person saying that he said it'll go until March. Evidently he closed the panel by saying that he was going to be filming Luke Cage until March. So I don't know. I mean, like, I'll be really excited for somebody to clear this up in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's confusing.
And if he closed the panel with it, it could be that Marvel wanted him to say that they were like, oh, you can drop that, we're going on a longer filming schedule. And maybe that means there'll be a press release coming out that, they've got a higher budget, or that they're, doing...
Yeah, or maybe he's one of these people who's, got a sweet deal that he gets this many days on, this many days off. I don't know.
Maybe. They don't do that shit.
I don't know.
He got another sweet deal. I don't know if you've seen this yet. He evidently talks to Kristen Ritter like every day. And
they're besties.
Said that Jessica Jones season 2 is going to be dark and heavy. Because season 1 was so light and fluffy.
Light and fluffy, right? It was all unicorns and rainbows. I was like, so it's going to be exactly like season 1. Okay.
Yes.
I know that we have rumors that we think Typhoid Mary.
People. People keep saying that. Yeah, that there's a character that they had. So, again, MCU Exchange is really good at getting these cast breakdowns through nefarious means. I don't know, which means I have no clue how we're getting them. And there was one called Ingrid that the guys are convinced is Typhoid Mary. And so, if Jessica Jones is going to have Typhoid Mary, I feel like it has to be Robin, the crazy redheaded neighbor.
Oh gosh, I wish. She would make such a great Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, it would make no sense to me for them to bring a new character in and make her Typhoid Mary. So, yeah.
Do you think that they maybe could be filming Luke Cage kind of at the same time as Jessica Jones, because there might be a little more crossover action?
Well, and I think that's why, the folks in these shows don't even get the script pages that they don't act on. So how the fuck does Mike Coulter... unless it's just that Kristen is like, yeah, dude, what I filmed today was dark and heavy.
Yeah.
How much does he really know about the season? And that is really all he said about it. He said it is dark and heavy. And, that is not a spoiler in the least, because it's Jessica Jones. So...
Yeah, maybe we're gonna get more crossover. Maybe Mike
Coulter's all up on it. Maybe he is in the script. Maybe after the Defenders, they are... Finn is in New York,
Yeah.
Finn, I watched the sunrise this morning with Finn Jones over Brooklyn. I was laying in my bed in New Jersey thinking, what a slacker I am. I could be, out on the beach watching the sunrise. But no, I'm watching it on Instagram Live with Finn Jones.
Well, Finn.
So he's back in New York. So either he really likes New York, or he's here doing more Iron Fist press, or maybe he's popping up in Jessica Jones. Maybe they're all going to be interconnected.
Yeah, maybe there's more crossover now.
I hope so.
Maybe that's why these shows are kind of now more overlapping. So
maybe,
or
everybody, maybe they're doing little tags for all the characters, and he's just in town to do a little tag.
Yeah, until June.
I went one step short of mapping out where his sunrise Instagram was from. Because he did go around with his camera. And
he does that.
He was on a rooftop, and he showed all the buildings around. So I could tell exactly. You could look. I could probably go on Google Earth and be like, all right, there's that building, that's that building, and he was on the roof of this. Because what I wanted to know is not stalking Finn Jones, but if he was in a hotel or if he was in an apartment.
Yeah,
I know if he was just in town for a couple days or if he moved here.
Yeah, he probably has a place here all the time, surely.
Jessica Hennick doesn't.
Mike Coulter does not. He doesn't. He's West Coast. Kristen's West Coast.
Yeah. And Jessica
Charlie?
Henwick, right after... Well, yeah, Charlie's moved here.
Yeah.
But Jessica that played Colleen, like, as soon as they wrapped The Defenders, she posted that she was going to be in New Orleans for another project. Which made me wonder if she was going to pop up in Cloak and Dagger. I don't know why, I don't know how, but they're filming Cloak and Dagger in New Orleans.
So when do we think now, they would announce season 2 of Iron Fist?
I have no effing clue.
It's been a month now.
But it was at least 2 months for Jessica Jones. Mm-hmm. Jessica Jones was far more than 2 months.
Oh, Jessica Jones. They really, they strung.
It came out in November and they announced it in January.
And Luke Cage, it came out in September, and then it was, I don't think it was quite 2 months, but it was.
Yeah. So I think, and it wasn't like.
Daredevil season 2, they made us wait forever.
And it's not even like, did they announce them at TCAs? Did they announce them?
They announced Jessica Jones at the winter TCAs of 2016.
Okay. And the summer TCAs aren't until June.
Yes.
So...
And then they may wait till Comic-Con to announce it. You know, that's when they announced season 2 of Daredevil was at San Diego Comic-Con.
Season 3.
It came out, season 3. Yeah, because it came out in March, and we were like, oh my god, they're never going to announce it. Oh my god,
yeah, that's true. They made us wait a really long time. So, Iron Fist, yeah, I think it's totally believable that they'd wait until Comic-Con. Or TCAs.
Yeah, if they participate. Netflix has got to where they like pull out of this stuff. So.
They don't do upfronts because they don't have to sell advertising.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll hear everything. So the Hulu upfronts are May 3rd.
Cool.
So we should get news on Runaways.
Hope we get news on Runaways, and I hope they like update us on Postal.
Oh, is that on Hulu as well?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that should be an interesting, I mean, because that's why we got the Cloak and Dagger trailer this past week. It was the freeform upfronts. So the Hulu, I keep getting them all mixed up. The Hulu ones are May 3rd in the morning.
Okay.
So we should get a trailer for Runaways if they've got it ready.
I hope so. Oh my god! Apparently, all it takes is one episode. So if they got one episode in wrap, that's all we need. One episode worth of.
But when you think about it, if the trailer, I mean, let's talk about it because we have the Cloak and Dagger trailer.
Let's talk about it.
And this trailer was made. I mean, this show is not Cloak and Dagger is not coming out until early 2018.
Correct.
It's coming out, winter of 2018. But they're saying like early 2018. So that trailer was purely. So the purpose of the upfronts is to sell ad time, to get investors to buy advertisement blocks at a certain network.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were trying to sell the general public that show. I think they were trying to sell advertisers.
Well, good job on that then.
And they're saying we have a dark and gritty teen drama that's Marvel.
I can't even pretend like I enjoyed that trailer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't. I've watched it. I've only watched it twice because I can't pretend like that interests me at all.
I mean, I just see that it's like two kids, something happened.
I know, but to me,
they grow up and their kids and their kids and their kids, and boom, they got powers, and bam, they're in New Orleans.
If I take the Marvel logo out of that, if I don't even know what the title is, and I take the Marvel logo out of that, there's nothing about that makes me want to watch that show.
Oh yeah, true. No, totally.
Zero.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll still probably give it a try because I will. But I've watched a couple things on Freeform, and this just looks very Freeform to me. Yeah. I hope it's dark and gritty like they promise, but yeah.
I don't think anybody's promised it except for me.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm the one that gave it the dark and gritty label.
You better be right. You better be right.
And here's my thoughts on it. I mean, okay, so the main reason I'm excited about it is that they've set it in New Orleans.
Right.
And a lot of Marvel takes place in New York. Because a lot of Marvel was originated by Stan Lee and company back in the 60s, 70s, when New York City was dark and gritty. When it was, murder capital and all that. In this day and age, if you want what they had in New York, in America, you go to New Orleans. Because New Orleans, it's getting better. And
But those kids don't look dark and gritty.
I know. I know.
The song they played was not dark and gritty.
But that's... And I don't know, I don't even know if it's supposed to be dark and gritty or if it just, like, takes place at night and has a cemetery scene. I mean,
Okay,
that's true.
You know, rocks on, that's cool. And when you see the cloak, like, flapping in the wind, that's cool.
And to me, I got excited because it's the Roxanne sign. I mean, New Orleans, and see, like I said, most of this is about my love for New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because New Orleans is an oil town. It's all energy companies and all that. And so when I saw that Roxanne sign, I was like, yes, Roxanne totally owns New Orleans. And then the Crescent City Connection in the background and the Mississippi. And, you know, like for me, it was a lot more of that. And I'll admit, like people were talking about it and like having discussions on and I was like, I didn't even catch what happened to those kids as much, except they ended up on that rooftop in New Orleans with the Roxanne sign.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. The trailer just did not wow me at all.
Yeah, no.
So, but I'm also not. I haven't read a lot of Cloak and Dagger, but if I had, I think I'd be even more irritated by this trailer. So,
I haven't read a lot of them either, so maybe that's why I don't have extreme thoughts.
And I ran a poll, and I don't know if it's over yet, but people were pretty much split. I mean, between either loving it or just, meh, it's okay. Like, that was pretty much the split. But I was really surprised with how many people were, like, into it. I was like, oh, okay. Because it does really seem, look, and it might not be geared toward my age group, like, at all. And that's okay, too. I don't have to like everything. That's cool. But it just seems to be geared to a much younger audience.
Totally.
So far, but...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable. I mean, I later was thinking about it, and I'm like, Harry Potter was a young adult, you know, like a kid's story, young adult, whatever, and all ages enjoyed it. It was able to be dark. It was able to be really interesting. So they really should be able to make it entertaining for us while still hitting their target.
I wonder what time slot this is going to run in. Is this an 8 o'clock freeform show? Is this a 10 o'clock freeform show?
Does Freeform have 10 o'clock shows?
I have no idea.
Dude, if Freeform wants me to stay up till 10 o'clock to watch the show, then they can go fuck themselves with the Luke Cage folks.
with little Dagger's little dagger, huh?
Is that what that white glow thing was supposed to be?
Yeah. With her lightness. You can just fuck me with the light. Okay? Because no. Not going to stay up. That's why I'm not staying up watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but apparently I'm missing out on that because apparently it's gotten, like, off the chain.
I told you before this last pod started that you needed to just, like, forget everything and watch this most recent one.
No, well.
Because I'm really liking what they're doing. And I'm liking it. Here's the number one reason I like it that's non-spoilery. They're not introducing new characters.
Right.
I feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. was so hard to keep up with because, like, every week it was like, oh, and there's this person. Everybody would be like, whoa, oh my God. And, like, people would know who it was because it was some classic comic character that I had never heard of because I haven't read the fucking comics. And, like... And it was a big deal for that, but it wasn't that big a deal for me. For me, it was just a character, and I didn't understand what was going on and why this was happening. And I guess it was like my friend watching Iron Fist. But now it is just like all these characters that we had a little bit of time with at some point in the series, but mostly just our core group of characters, just them. And because they're in this alternate reality, when they introduce new people... it's a new person that we knew in season 2 or in season 3 or, you know, some other time. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's just so much more pleasant to follow because I don't feel like I'm constantly having to get to know new people.
Yeah. I'll get caught up eventually. I will.
Yeah, I mean,
as soon as it's on Netflix.
Some parts of it are not worth catching up on, but some are.
But I'll watch the whole thing. I like the slow burn. Remember, I'll suffer through. It's okay. I'll do it. I don't think the ABC shows though come on as fast as the CW shows after the finale. So it may take me a while to catch up.
So that's a question for you. What's the difference between slow burn and boring?
Oh, it's the way it makes you feel. Slow burn is never supposed to be boring.
Okay.
See? Yeah, slow burn is all about just peeling off like one layer at a time.
Because
giving you just enough.
Because sometimes with S.H.I.E.L.D., I think some of my problem with S.H.I.E.L.D. is it's the only, like, full network season show.
It's too many episodes.
And
sometimes
it's like 24 episodes. So sometimes there's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
a full episode where you're just like, yes, I feel like they're setting up something, but as a standalone episode, this went nowhere, and I got no enjoyment out of it.
It's the same way on the CW shows, too. It's the same way on Flash. It's the same way on Arrow.
So is that slow burn, or is that just
That's
boring?
not slow burn. That's just a throwaway episode.
Okay. Because, like, I don't think of S.H.I.E.L.D. as slow burn, but...
No, it's not. No.
There's
there's some really good slow burn out there. Really good slow burn.
Yeah.
Not network shows.
No, network shows don't do slow burn. They just don't do it.
No. Comics are kind of slow burn. We talked about that this week.
God, yes, we did. So, I think that really, because I just do not enjoy the slow burn of month-to-month comics.
It is tough. I heard a thing this week on the news that was talking about how we are losing our ability to focus because we're trying to do so many things at one time, and we also live in the next Netflix world where we can watch everything at one time, or the MU world where we can read like an entire run if we want to in a day. So it is hard to pace yourself and get back used to like 1 issue a month or 2 issues a month because you like get it. You sit down and you're like, that's it. That's the end.
Well, it is hard for me to focus. So when I focus, I want to focus. Like,
yeah,
I just watched all of season 1 of Agent Carter, and like I was able to sit here and watch. I mean, I multitasked because I can't do one thing at a time. But I watched, all of that first season, and then I forgot that there were second seasons, and I'd have to buy them and all of that. But and that's the thing. Like, I can sit down, but I think it's like getting into the focus. Like, when I focus, I have to be like, okay, I am about to focus on this. And I've learned, like, I do this so many times no matter what I'm doing. Like, I have to take a deep breath and be like, all right, I'm about to do this shit for real. Like, even, like, writing MCU news. Like, it's like, all right, I'm going to claim this piece of news. I'm going to write up this article. I'm really excited about it, but I just... Deep breath.
It is hard. It is hard. There's so many things. There's so much coming at you all the time.
So I think, like, once I get into that, like, I have to do something, like, okay, now I'm going to go, because, okay, so I've stopped buying paper comics, which means I have to convince the Marvel system to let me log in and then buy the digital comic, because sometimes the Marvel system is just like, no, I don't want your money today. Like, and then go and buy it.
The app is really good about taking your money and not giving you like the ability to like put in a discount code or anything. The app just wants all your money.
Oh yeah. That's why I do it from my computer, because my computer is one of those that'll like turn around and be like a tablet. So it's I like reading comics on it when I can fucking get the website to load.
Yeah.
It's a nice big, like tablet view of the comics. It looks like I'm reading full sized.
Yeah.
And I've learned to really, really like that. But, like, it takes me, like, willpower to go log in, get the right one, make sure I'm not buying one I've already bought, make sure it's the most recent, get the discount code. Because if you've got Marvel Unlimited Plus, you can get a discount on the digital comics through Marvel.
I didn't even know that. Yes. I'm so stupid.
You enter Member Plus at checkout. I think I only know that because I did so much damn clicking trying to figure out where it takes my money. And I ended up in Marvel Unlimited, and it was like, get discounts on digital comics. And I was like, oh. And then I went to the
should automatically give that to me. I don't understand.
That's
if I'm logged in with my Marvel account on my phone, and I've got these apps, and I'm an MU Plus member, why the fuck is it so hard?
I don't get it. I don't get why I have to enter a code either. I feel like everything I do there should automatically have whatever discounts MU Plus folks get. But no, you have to enter Member Plus at checkout.
That's just fucking stupid, Marvel.
And so every month I have to like look up what the fucking code is. Okay, it's Member Plus. And then like looking that up, that's like a Google search for the ages. And then I buy it, and then I can read it. And then like I've done all of that, and I get in, and I get those 23, 24 pages, and they take me in their pretty panels, and they have nice moments.
Oh, so pretty.
And then it doesn't come to any conclusion. It's just some panels that are 1/4 of that are 1/4 of a story. And
yeah, especially if you're in the middle of a run.
It doesn't even say, like, a next one coming in May. It's just like, and there's going to be another issue. Like, we really don't even know when the next issue is coming out.
Next month.
But it's not even that. It's not even regularly monthly.
Yeah, you don't know, and sometimes there's 2 comes out a month. It's crazy. I have like slowed down with that. It is hard if you're reading a lot to keep up month to month on certain stories, and it has to be something I'm really interested in. Like Hawkeye is a good one. Daredevil, and I have pre-ordered like Defenders. That's probably going to be. I mean, I do still read Jessica Jones, but it's not something I have to have like on release day or something. And I can wait until I have a couple and catch up or something. It's not a must read for me. And Kill or Be Killed and Postal is that's just my month to month things.
Yeah, and that's where I think like Jessica Jones, I'll catch up. I might just wait until it's on MU Plus. Now, and that's the thing, like, I really want to support it, so maybe I'll buy them digitally and, like, wait to read.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or, or Jessica Jones to me, because I read the first, read Alias as the catch-up, to sort of, like, get into it. And those were all in trade paperback, so you had, like, 5 issues that you could read, like, in a bunch. You had a whole story arc to read, so it's really hard for me to read Jessica Jones month to month. I forget what's happening. I do. I have to read that little catch-up page in the front because I forget.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying Hawkeye. The new Hawkeye is great, and I'm still enjoying Daredevil. So, Power Man and Iron Fist ended. There is a new Iron Fist. I haven't read issue number 2 of that yet. The Elektra, Bullseye, and Kingpin, I think they're only like 5-issue runs.
Yeah. Have you read any of them?
Kingpin's really good.
I bought Kingpin, the first one, twice, but I haven't read it yet.
Kingpin's good. I've not read the Elektra, and I only read like Bullseye number 1. It was not enough for me to go past that. I did not give a shit. So, but I'm really like more into the binge reading, right? Like MU stuff right now. So,
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like right now, I think that's the thing too. Is like I like being in one universe.
And I read too a little tweet this week from somebody who said like, look, I can get a TV show for $1.99, or sometimes like $2.99 on Amazon or whatever, or wherever you have to buy it from, Apple. And some of these comics are $4.99. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like can we do something about that a little bit? Make it a little cheaper. Makes it hard to read all the things you want to read.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where the discount on the digital makes it more palatable to me.
Mm-hmm. You would be proud of me. Yesterday, that's what I did last night. I bought a digital trade of Death of X. Yeah. Mainly because I wanted it right then.
Did you buy it through Marvel or through Comixology?
Marvel. I don't even have the Comixology app. Yeah, through Marvel. So, but no, I wasn't smart enough to get on my laptop and use a code. But I did. I was like, I want this. There's no sense in buying all the issues individually.
Aww.
This probably comes out a little cheaper, maybe. Aww. So I was trying to be practical and go digital, and it was good. I'm like two issues into that, of a 133-page graphic novel. So
that's good. So you switched off of Inhumans because
that is Inhumans. Oh, Death of X is all Inhumans. Death of X is all about how the Terrigen mist is making the X-Men sick.
Oh,
yeah, and how it's going to lead to IVX, Inhumans versus X. Yeah.
Okay. See, yes. I'm reading. I'm so Inhumans. I feel like I started at the beginning and it was okay, and I'm working my way up. Unlike,
and I did the opposite.
Right. I did the opposite. But unlike Daredevil, where when it gets to Silver Age, I will probably never read some of the Silver Age Daredevil. I enjoyed the Silver Age Fantastic Four with the Inhumans in it.
I do too. I enjoy Silver Age Fantastic Four too. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I skipped to the 1998 Jenkins Lee run, and I enjoyed that, and I finally just finished that. So I'm starting whatever the 2000 run is, and that one started off with my name in it. So
I saw that.
If any Inhumans TV show writers are listening, 1, email me. We'll be happy to have you on the podcast. 2, yes. There's a Rhiannon in Inhumans mythology. So evidently they made her one of the people on Kree or something. I don't know. I was hoping it would come up
Cool.
again so I could learn more about my
Rhiannon
backstory.
is that's such an inhuman name anyway. That's cool.
Sure.
That's just, yeah. But let's get to the real question, which is...
That is, like, the question of the week.
How the fuck do you say it? And you guys know what I'm talking about. You know.
If you follow us on Twitter, you definitely know.
But I thought when I asked Charles the other day, I thought, I know this is a question like he receives a lot. He's got to. But I thought he's going to like just know the answer. There's a correct way to say it, right? And he's just going to tell me. And apparently nobody knows.
Because when you ask him how to pronounce his name, he tells you. You pronounce it like the bottom of the shoe. Soul. So
when he was
Atilan. Or is
yeah,
there
Attilan.
So
and because it was getting annoying to me, because every time I'd read it, it would be this word that jumped out, and I would say I'd have to say, how do I say it? How am I saying it today?
Yeah,
because I don't know. Like sometimes it's Attilan, sometimes it's Attilon, sometimes.
See, and I think Attilan is what I think more frequently. But I think Attilon, like I was saying with Tiara and Tiara, I think I would switch Attilan and Attilon.
Attilon.
But then...
Attilan.
We made it our game to come up with as many pronunciations as possible. So we have Attiland.
Yeah, Attilan.
Attilan.
Attilan. Yeah, what did I say? You say Attilon?
Autolon. I said we can't podcast because every day you're announcing how you're pronouncing it that day.
Yeah, Autolon. It's Autolon. Yesterday was
like,
Autolon.
We can't podcast on Autolon Day. I can't take it.
Autolon. So, is it Attilan or Attilon? That's really the two. Like, surely that's the two.
I know. I was hoping Ensign Mount would speak the truth.
He can't speak. He'd kill us all, like you said. He can't say. He can't say. But I'm such a Charles Soule fangirl reading his stuff. He's like the king of all Inhumans, like the writers. So,
but you haven't read the Jenkins Lee run, so you don't know.
Sorry, it doesn't include like some of my new characters that I love.
That's true.
So it's gonna be tough because when I get through reading all the Charles stuff, I'm gonna be like, I want more. If I win the lottery, I'm going to I'm gonna ask Charles to write me a reader like Matt Murdock crossover story.
Yeah,
that's what I want to happen. I'll pay him like $1 million to do it.
He
probably wouldn't. He probably wouldn't say no.
You could probably just pay him whatever Marvel pays him for one issue.
Would be the best.
It's like paying somebody for fanfic. Nobody does that. Like, but it would be like going to Stephen King and being like, "Could you write me some fanfic?"
Because I want a Christine and Pet Sematary crossover, please.
Yes. I would like the guys in the stand to show up in misery.
So it's gonna be. I'm gonna read Death of X, and then I'm gonna read IVX, and then I'm gonna make sure I'm caught up on all the Charles stuff. I'll make sure I haven't missed anything, and then I'll go back.
So does Death of X have the new Inhumans that you like?
Yes, some of them. Like I don't know if Reader shows up, or Frank McGee is another one I like. I don't know if he will, but they are in IVX.
Okay.
So, because I listened to like a little Marvel podcast that he said was, he said some of the new ones were in there. He's like, some of the fan favorites like Reader and Frank McGee.
Well, he said that one of his characters is going to show up in the show. At least one.
Yeah, I would be, so excited.
So maybe it'll be Reader.
It could be Reader, but I like Frank McGee too. Frank McGee is like a former like cop, and he can pretty much like his eyes like glow, and he can like pretty much take a snapshot like of a crime scene with his eyes because they'll blind people, like flash photography kind of thing.
Okay.
And yeah, so he's like a super duper detective that way.
Oh.
So Frank McGee is cool too.
Mm. That sounds more like the down to earth type stuff that they're going for.
Yeah, that they'll probably have. Yeah,
because are they even? Shit. What was the summary? There was a summary that came out for Inhumans, and I want to think it was super depressing. In that,
yeah, I don't know. See, I haven't read anything about the show. I just know that now, anytime I read Maximus, I hear Ramsay Bolton's voice in my head.
Yeah, no, they have. They've released a official synopsis. Here's the synopsis.
Okay, what?
Dude, too many words, not the quote.
Is it something like cute guy marries woman with really long red hair and they do stuff together?
No, okay, so here's the synopsis. Hold on. My computer's making noise. I hate websites that automatically play music. Stop. Oh, fuck you, comicbook.com, for your autoplay stuff. Okay, sorry. After the royal family of Inhumans is splintered by a military coup, they barely escape to Hawaii, where their surprising interactions with the lush world and humanity around them may prove to not only save them, but Earth itself. Now, do you notice one word missing from that synopsis? There's a lot of... They barely escape to Hawaii. So it sounds to me like the Inhuman writers were like, dude, do we pronounce it Atalan? Atalan. Atilan? Atalan. Fuck, we'll just put them in Hawaii.
They go to Hawaii. That's the new Hawaii is like new Atalan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what, I don't know. That doesn't leave me with like I don't know. I'm ready to see like a teaser or something.
Well, and we should have a teaser any day now because, well, probably at the ABC upfronts in mid-May.
Cool. That'll be cool.
Because, I mean, this is going to be huge because they're releasing this in IMAX before it premieres. I believe it's in IMAX September 1st. And they've been filming long enough that they have a good teaser ready. And I would expect that this would be front and center for whatever they're selling advertisers.
Yeah, this is going to be... I'm excited now. I didn't think I was going to be excited about the Inhumans, and then I started reading it, and I, like, fell in love with it. But now I'm like, just don't fuck it up.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Some of this stuff is so comic booky, I don't know how you do it and make it seem grounded.
Well, and they're doing it and making it seem grounded. They're grounding it a little. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment. But
how do you ground, like, Medusa? How do you ground that?
Starting with, it has the same showrunner as Iron Fist.
Oh, dear. No, I mean, it's awesome. Okay, but, you know, how he kind of sort of said, like, he didn't know anything about Iron Fist? Did he know anything about Inhumans before he started?
I don't know. But
I'll remain hopeful.
I'm remaining hopeful. I'm hoping that they're not going to have an IMAX. They're not going to take footage for IMAX that's just, like, a woman with long red hair and...
and a mute guy.
Like, and a mute guy, and just be like, oh no, but they're really powerful.
Come on, let's be honest, we'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, but nobody else would.
I wonder how they're going to show his power.
Well, there was... And this is getting into spoilers, so if anybody wants to remain completely spoiler-free.
Beep!
There was... So evidently in Hawaii, I mean, there's been lots and lots of leaks on site. And also, like, Infinity War, they've had huge leaks in Scotland. Like, serious footage that somebody has been able to video.
People, stop!
But I understand why with Avengers people are doing it because
I don't understand shit. Like, you're gonna get the movie. Yeah, this makes me mad. You're gonna see my super of rage.
Like, some press outlets pay serious money.
I know, but Jesus Christ, good Lord.
I know, but so with Inhumans, there was a report. I don't think this was one that there was any footage, but that they filmed a scene where Black Bolt was in a vehicle or something and the vehicle crashed or whatever, and he used his voice and it made the car fly away, like explosive like, you know.
Yeah, like move, like, psh, like be gone.
I mean, so that isn't like his whisper can demolish a city, but they're probably going to make him a little less powerful in that regard, you know, like his whisper won't demolish a city, but like his whisper can like blow up a fucking car.
Oh, that's going to be so hot.
So, I mean, that right there, they say he's going to use his voice, which, spoiler alert, he doesn't do in the entire Jenkins Lee run.
I love it. I love the one where I read which was the weird one, the Secret War stuff, where everything's backwards. After Secret Wars, everything's Doctor Doom and Victor Von Doom has got control and Thors are running around and Hulks and shit and that kind of stuff and everything's crazy. And in that run he starts and he can talk and it's weird. It's weird. But you should read it. It's on like 5 issues. You should read that. I'm not going to spoil it for you because it's so fucking perfect. That's the one that has like 1602, like Matt Murdock running around.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's Secret. Is that in Secret Wars or is that?
It's just its own little like it's in with the Secret War stuff, like when Secret Wars was happening, but it's its own little 5-issue run called Adeline Rising.
Oh, okay.
Like on MU. It's on MU.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Adeline Rising.
Yeah, Adeline.
I don't think I can say Adeline. You said it and it was weird. I wanted to like correct you.
Yeah, Adeline. Adeline. Hawaii Rising. It's what it's called.
Oh my, I can't believe they're just going to be like, they're in Hawaii.
They're in Hawaii. Like, okay, yeah. So do they live like under the water in Hawaii or like do you have to?
No, they're just like in Hawaii.
Oh, so they're just living like in an apartment in Hawaii.
Yeah. They have like a posh penthouse apartment in Hawaii. Like posh. Except for, I mean, it has like a pool and that's where like,
so I wonder if this is all going to lead to like that one's going to get destroyed. Then eventually like they go to New York and like that's when you have like new Hawaiis in New York.
So is New Adelan in?
Yeah.
Because like I haven't seen where they end up.
Yeah, it's in New York. It's in New York.
Oh, okay. Because I'm still at this point where they're like they hid Adelan. Now where are they? So spoiler.
Hawaii, do they live in like a volcano or something? That would be cool.
Yeah, they live in Adelan. I mean, they have like it's the lost city of Atlantis, like, and they're not in Hawaii. Oh, like in the show. I have no idea.
Atlantis.
I know that there's a major spoiler in the Jenkins Lee run that footage has shown that it looks like they're going to be doing.
Ooh.
And since you haven't read that and you haven't seen the spoiler, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's like really shocking.
I'll get to it between now and then. Yeah. I will. As fast as I'm blowing through this and enjoying it, I will.
But I still may not tell you it's happening.
Cool.
Because I'm trying this whole not spoiling things for you.
I just don't live near an IMAX, so there's that. But whatever.
I mean, I think they'll probably show it at regular theaters too. I mean, they film it in IMAX, but anything that's released in IMAX, you can still see it in a regular theater.
If your regular theater's cool enough to show it, sure.
Oh my god, fuck South Georgian theaters.
It's true. I will not hold my breath. That's not my superpower.
Jesus.
So, yeah. So yeah, I think is that all the news?
God, I don't know. There's a lot of news.
Well, people still want us to like do our little Defenders thing where our top 10 like just different little lists. But we'll
yeah. I mean, we've got lots of Defenders talk to do. I think we're going to try to get up with Mike for some of that.
Yeah.
Just because he's really good at puns.
Yes.
And ideas. He's given us all kinds of ideas.
But we want answers, people. We want to know why Luke Cage has taken like 9 months to film. If you know, tell us.
Oh my god, yes, if you know, tell us.
We want to know how to say Adelan.
Please tell us it's pronounced that way. Because I don't think I can cope with
it. Who came up with Adelan? Are they still alive? Can we ask them?
I don't know. We tagged Stan Lee. He did not answer.
Is he the creator? Did Stan Lee like create Black Bolt and Medusa?
I don't remember. Is Fantastic Four Lee's or was it Kirby's?
I don't know. We need to know these things.
Somewhere in my head I'm thinking these characters are Jack Kirby's, but I'm not 100% sure.
And then our other poll was, what was shittier, the trip to Georgia or trip to China? We need to know these things.
Yeah, I posted that one. So I posted, this is about like I posted around 4 o'clock on Sunday. So it'll be up there until 4 o'clock on Sunday the 30th.
Cool.
If the 30th is a Sunday.
This has been a very, we have stayed very on topic. This has been a very on topic podcast.
This is really good. And the fact that I'm starting to get hungry for dinner and stuff means we're not going to ramble too much longer.
No. China is winning right now, the poll. 83% to 17% with 6 votes in. So.
Oh, well, 6 votes is not a reliable subset. You probably have 6 accounts with which you can vote, so I always assume we have to have at least 20 to get outside of us voting different ways.
Well, I'm waiting for Russia to hack these results.
Well, if they have something to gain. So, all right. Well,
I'm ready. Yeah.
End it here.
Let's end this here.
And who knows when we will talk to folks again. If you have anything specifically you want us to talk about.
People really want to know how Matt Murdock's going to get laid. We're going to do that too.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming, people. It's coming.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. We'll discuss that later.
Yeah. That's a whole podcast just for that.
Yeah. I was just trying to think on when it was, like if we wanted to do it before Defenders or if we wanted to wait until we saw where he was. But I think we should do it before Defenders, and then we should do it again if he doesn't get laid in Defenders.
Oh, Jesus. If he doesn't get laid. Jesus, I'm going to be so frustrated.
Yeah. And if you're one of the Inhumans writers and you want to hang out and talk to us, we're here.
If anybody wants to hang out and talk to us, let us know. Yeah.
Do we want to mention where they might find us in person?
What do you mean, like in fake Georgia? What do you mean? What do you mean in person, like on Twitter?
We're going to be at MegaCon.
Oh God!
At the end of May.
Yes, MegaCon in Orlando in May. Last weekend in May.
Yeah. So we're going to be there. We're going to be there like one day. I'm saying this as if we're like going to be at the con as presenters or something. We are going to be there as fans, hanging out at panels, trying to come up with new ways to approach Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be there, we might be there at the same time as you. I don't know.
Fine.
We've been trying to come up with our own con pitch to like be our own panel at cons, but you would have to tell all of your friends to get them to start listening to our podcast for that to happen.
Yeah. We're ways away from that probably.
I still think,
but it's gonna take off though at any minute. Like at any podcast, we're just gonna blow up.
I still think we have a good con pitch though. I mean, I think we could if I wrote it down and put it into words.
I think so too. We should try it. Since we didn't get into San Diego Comic-Con, we should try it at New York Comic-Con.
San Diego totally hasn't let me know if I could have a press pass yet.
They're not giving you one. Just give up on that dream.
That'll make my summer much less complicated.
Just give up on that dream. Just let that dream go.
Since when did you tell me to give up on dreams, Shelby?
Since it was San Diego Comic-Con.
So, okay, I know we've been on track, but the reason I didn't get my San Diego Comic-Con pass is that my cousin and I were going to go to San Diego Comic-Con, and she was all prepared. Like, we prepared, there's all this stuff. Like, they send you the instructions, and you can start logging in at, like, 8 a.m. San Diego time. And she lives in San Diego. And so, I was all prepared. Shelby was prepared to help from Georgia. You can log in, and then, like, anytime in that hour, and then they start selling. But you have to be logged in sometime in that hour. And so I like, worked with her. I was like, okay, here's what you got to do. And she set up her computer and everything, and she, got up, set everything up, and then fell asleep.
That's hardcore, man.
I mean, that's very, we are related. Because she just, like, an hour into it was like, oh, fuck, sorry.
And I was so, like, I get so, like, anxious and nervous, and it wasn't even for me.
And I was just getting a ticket. You were just, like, helping me get tickets.
And I was so, like, oh, my God. But, no, they have a very smooth way of doing it. I guess, it works for some people. Some people got in, some people didn't. But it never once crashed on me, or it never got, like, a server error or anything. So I guess it works.
No, it was very enjoyable. Like, I mean, it went very quickly. Like, I was worried that I would be waiting for 3 hours to find out I wasn't getting a pass.
Right. It went very quickly. Very quickly.
I only had to wait 76 minutes to find out I was not getting a pass.
It went very quickly. Actually, it even went longer than I expected. I really thought it would go quicker than that. But they were very good at letting you know, hey, this is selling out. You're not going to get one probably. Most definitely not.
Yeah. So.
And then they'd move on to the next one. Same thing. You're not getting one of these.
So our practice attempt at getting San Diego Comic-Con tickets was educational and
it was a successful practice attempt.
It was a successful practice attempt. So may the odds be ever in our favor for New York Comic-Con when that comes about. Any of y'all that are listening that are thinking about going to New York Comic-Con, you have to register.
You got to get fan verified.
Go do the fan verification registration bullshit. Don't pretend that they didn't tell you that had to happen. Don't be a jerk. Don't be stupid. Go fan verify.
There you go. I've been told my sister to do it. She said she did. We'll see.
All right.
So.
Well, all right. So, on that note, we will talk to you later.
Later. Hopefully before Orlando, if not after Orlando. Who knows?
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.